Hello everybody, this is Harrison101 with another video for you, and it's time for another Forza Motorsport 4 car review. And on this episode, we're heading to Germany, and a car which is very different by Mercedes-Benz normal standards of luxury, of big, powerful cars. This is definitely more different, as on this episode of Forza Motorsport 4's car reviews, I'll be looking at the 2010 Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. Like I said, the Mercedes SLS is a very different Mercedes than most cars that they've made in their flagship ranges. It's based off of the old, I think, 1954 Mercedes 300 SL in the way it's designed, as well as its famous gold-wing doors, which, if you're very tall, will probably clip your head off of. But I do like the looks of it. It looks a lot like a muscle car, but what a muscle car would look like if the Germans had engineered it. I'm not sure on the shape, but I do really love the unique aspects of it, like the gold-wing doors, and the fact it's based off of the old 300 SL, which is a beautiful car and an absolute classic in its own right. Really digging the looks. The Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG uses a more powerful version of their newer range of 6.3 litre V8 engines. The SLS has 571 brake horsepower and 479 foot-pounds of torque. Under full throttle, it will reach 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, 0 to 100 in just under 8 seconds, and en route to a top speed of 204 miles an hour. However, it is the slowest car to take part in the performance test. In our Top Gear standing mile test, it completed the full mile in 29.5 seconds. Obviously, it is far less powerful and heavier than the two cars we've tested so far in this review series, the 640 brake horsepower McLaren F1 and the near 700 brake horsepower Lamborghini Aventador. So unsurprisingly, it was the slowest we've had so far. But it still goes at quite a hefty speed for a car of its size, and the power definitely comes down very nicely. It actually punches above its weight and performance bracket, which I'll talk about later. Onto the Berenice Alps test track to test the car's handling. And what did I think of the SLS on my handling track on the Alps? Well, I thought it was interesting in the sense of, again, it really doesn't handle like a typical Mercedes I've driven in the game before or in other racing games. I liked it, but at first I wasn't that into it because it was very tail happy. The car oversteers a lot, and it doesn't have a problem with kicking the back out and having to put opposite lock on the car to try and control it. But the more I got into it, the more I actually enjoyed it. I like the fact its handling is pretty solid. I mean, the car has not got a very good handling rating. It's got a 5.6 for handling, which is okay, but it isn't great. But it felt like it was a bit better than that, actually. I enjoyed the handling, and once I got the rhythm down, and I managed to get used to the brakes, and I got used to how the car handled, how to handle its oversteer a little bit. I actually really enjoyed the drive. It was very good fun. The car handled and responded well under pressure, and I actually felt comfortable pushing it to a higher level and near its, performance limits. Definitely surprising me in the sense I didn't think for a car and how big it is and how it handles more like handles and feels more like a muscle car than a conventional supercar you see like a Ferrari 458 or a Lamborghini Gallardo. Again, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was good fun. And while it handled differently, I still think it handled well given the circumstances. Enjoyed the second lap of me around the Alps. One of the first laps I've actually done around this track clean in a car as well, which is something which this car deserves some credit for. And I'll catch back for the Forzability review. And now time for a lap around the Top Gear test track. We have noticed here the SLR, the back spoiler comes up once you reach 80 miles an hour. A nice little tool there for increasing downforce around the faster corners. And it doubles as an air brake like its older brother, the SLR, once you hit the brakes. So it's a nice little feature, but despite the brakes aren't actually that good on this car, which is quite odd. But anyway, round to Chicago here. Again, I actually thought this car was really good round the slower corners. It wasn't so good round the faster ones, like the follow-through and the tyre wall, but round the slower corners like Chicago and Gambon, it was actually really stable, and I liked how it handled at slower speeds. Through to the hammerhead now. See, keeping it inside the lines there, and able to put pretty much my full power down round the exit of the corner there, something I haven't been able to do in the more powerful cars yet. So it's a nice thing for confidence, that. Through to the follow-through now. Coming in just over 115 miles an hour as I come out now towards the tyre wall. Quite fast, making the camera shake there. A little bit wide on the exit, but all good. Brakes up now for the second to last corner. Very smooth. Again, really enjoyed the car at the lower speeds. At the high speeds, it was a little bit uncomfortable. Through to Gambon now, a little bit wide, but on the power and across the line in 1 minute 20.9. So how good is the Mercedes SLS in the realms of Forza Motorsport 4? Honestly, not very good. First of all, the SLS is expensive. It costs and is worth 250,000 credits. Yes, it is a reward car in the World Tour career mode. You get it as a 1 in 4 option at level 36 for top of the line. However, the 3 other cars in that category are the Ferrari 599 GTO, Lexus LFA and Aston Martin 177. All cars which are more valuable and are actually worth more on the auction block. So it's not really a price financially good idea to take this car over the other 3 in its reward category. So it's expensive. It's not worth it to pick it up as a reward car. And its performance bracket is awkward. It's got a performance index rating of 609, which puts it in the S-Class, but only just. It's on the lower end of the S-Class bracket, which means, unfortunately, chances are that you're going to need to spend some money to upgrade this car to get the best out of it, to make it a really competitive and decent S-Class car, which, again, isn't very cost-effective either, especially in World Tour mode, which other cars are automatically maxed out at $699 or $700. So it's expensive, and it's going to cost you more money for it to be a feasible option in career mode. The Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG is fun, and sometimes that's all that really matters in the world of gaming. But in this review series, it just doesn't stack up right compared to some of the other cars we've already done. It's expensive, its handling and performance isn't great for the amount of money you have to spend on it to make it effective, but it is gorgeous. It's based off a classic, and it drives extremely well. So if you're using this as a car for career mode, I'd recommend against it. But for a pure driving experience, there isn't very many that's better than this. Buy it and enjoy it. I've been Harrison101. Thank you to Zogman5000 for the suggestion, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and sayonara.